Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to go through some stages in Hell difficulty, and we're going to have a look at a Valianters team. Let me turn this down. Right. Valianters team and a Dooms team. So what I want to do is I just want to show off how Ra works within the framework of Rift Odyssey, why she's going to be essential moving forward for this particular round, and also I want to show off Snow White as well. So recently I've been able to get my Snow White up to 11 stars. She does unlock a second part of her passive on here. So after Snow White takes action, she has a 100% chance to make 2 female enemies attack each other with basic attack 1 time. And as well, when we do get up to 12 stars, she gets an additional effect as well. I am just 1 copy away from getting that, so we'll do a 12-star review because it is relevant as well. We also get Oath Force, which doesn't really add altogether too much because she's not a DD. However, I also want to have a look at her runes. Now, at the start of battle, Snow White gains 50% attack for each additional female character on the battlefield, going up to 100% for each additional female character on the battlefield. So, say for example, in this particular lineup, she would get, if you had her half red runes, she would gain 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 450, 500. She would gain an additional 500% attack. No small number for Dooms. So bear with me. I'm just going to pause. We're going to build some teams and I will be right back. Okay, so while I was building teams, a thought occurred to me. Previously we had Elmer. So Elmer on this front line, and then you would have a unit on the back line, like Gerald, for example. You would use the Undying Shield, so it keeps backline allies alive, retaining a minimum of 30% HP, as at least 1 frontline ally is alive during the battle. Increase attack of allies by 20%, so let's go ahead and save. And let me just show off what I mean. So we currently technically have none of these equipped, no relics equipped. We don't have anything on this team. So let's just pop Cleo on this front row. And let's go ahead and jump into the battle. And I just wanted to show off how this actually functions. So jump in. Yep, battle, fine. Oh, I've got itchy nose. So the way that this works is Gerald here will go down to 30% HP. And Elmer will go down to 20% HP. But as long as Elmer is alive, Gerald cannot die. And so your team is immortal. I can demonstrate this very, very quickly. As long as Gerald can get hit at some point, which it does look like he's going to do. Probably. There we go. He's just going to dodge it, and he's going to go take them all down. Yeah, there we go. So Gerald cannot die, and neither can Elmer. So we cannot win this fight using just those units. However, that was the point. Now, what happens if I go ahead and add in Old Reliable of Diane into this particular setup? What I want to demonstrate is just how quickly Diane is going to die. It is what it is. Sorry, I'm still like, just ill. It's fine. But as we can see, Diane can die. She can go down. So Elmer does retaliate with his ultimate because we've got Grace of Shadows. Absolutely fine. Can't beat this boss. But what happens if we take Elmer out and then we add in Ra? Can we rely on Ra to keep the entire team alive using this Grace of Blur, this Undying Shield? Let's test that out. I want to see whether or not it is true to say that we can keep the entire team alive now that Ra exists. And with Ra being a striker, it just means that you have more access, so you can use Atrops more efficiently. Rather than using Elmer on the front row and this other unit goes to waste, what happens now is Ra goes to 30% HP, as you can see here, but none of our team here can take any damage whatsoever whilst Ra is on the field, which is why this team is now very, very strong. Unfortunately, we do only have one Undying Shield, so you cannot cheese the entire event by using Elmer on one team and Ra on the other team. But as you can see, Ra cannot go below that 30% HP no matter how many hits. No matter how many hits, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they take. I think the only exception to this, might actually be, and Ra might even finish him off. No, the only exception to this is the corrode damage, I think, potentially. Corrode and reflect damage. The reason for that is because they are not direct sources of damage, which Ra protects against. They are indirect sources of damage. As far as I'm aware, those have not been changed, and so that is how you can defeat Ra, or that is how the enemy team can defeat Ra, potentially, with that reflect. But from what I can see here, Ra is doing the same job as Elma in Rift Odyssey, except that you get you get the other unit as well. So previously you had to effectively rely on 4 units to get you through. You would probably put Ophelia in this spot because her effects last until she is good and ready. I was just making sure I was recording. I just can't be sure these days, can't be sure. But the point is that now you can have a full 5 units survive the entire match, rather than just relying on Elmer, who actually doesn't do very much damage at all unless he's really pumped up. And as you can see, Ra is doing reasonable amounts of damage as well. So I'm going to go ahead, build some teams. As you can see, we did lose that one. Unfortunate, but Gerald and Diane just don't cut it these days. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pause, build these teams, and then we'll jump straight back into it. Okay, and here we are back once again. Now, I've built my teams. As you can see, you've got Leandra down here. She will be our main damage dealer. Hades is here to steal enemies and also increase the attack threshold. So what I mean by that is Hades is here to steal enemy units and also to increase the execute threshold. There we go, got it out eventually. And also provide damage reduction, but it's not really going to matter altogether too much here because we do have a fully immortal team. We also have Atrops as well. Atrops now able to go on this front row. Let's switch these two around. And yeah, so we can now have Atrops in this front row. We don't need to have her on this back row and let one of these units effectively sacrifice themselves. Normally I would put Pandora on the front row here with Elma in this spot and Hades on the back row as well. But now we can have Atrops on this front row. We can pop Leandra in our damage dealing spot, and we can also have Pandora. Pandora is here to allow for ultimates to kick in. Now, if you don't know why Pandora is so strong, you can jump into her abilities and let's just have a quick look over her abilities. I also have a breakdown, full breakdown on her on the channel, but it is this: when an ally kills an enemy, they will cast the skill again on the enemy target with the lowest HP. In their own active skill rounds, they cast their ultimates instead of their active skills. This is worded incorrectly. This implies that in rounds 3 and rounds 6 and 9, etc., when you do your secondary attack, you instead, all of your teammates will do their ultimates. That is incorrect. It is only Pandora who casts her ultimate instead. So that's just something to keep in mind. That is the team I've gone with here. Pretty standard relics. And then we do have Arthur's team as well, or the Doomsdayers. Now, typically, Just something to note, I would not normally have this setup in PvP. My setup in PvP is something like this. The reason for that is because this slot 1 will give 500% max HP. Slot 2 also gets an additional 100% HP. However, for me, I think it's most important for Ra to be on this back row, so we are immortal, and also for Hades to get the most HP, because he is the one who is going to be stealing enemy units as well, which is why normally I would run Arthur in this spot. The reason in PvP specifically, the reason so that Arthur starts out the battle with 500 additional HP. Also, you have the Orderlies, increase max HP of hero in position 1 by 500%. This gives Arthur an additional, at the start of battle, an additional 1000% HP. He then trades with Dahlia. Dahlia gives him an additional up to 3000% HP, which is why typically I would like to run Arthur in this position because of his passive specifically. This bit of his passive here, when Arthur himself deals reflect damage, he deals additional damage equal to 5% of his max HP, not exceeding 1000% of his attack. So getting his attack up as quickly as possible with units like Dahlia, with units like Ophelia, with units like Cleopatra will allow Arthur to do much more additional damage with his reflect as well, which is kind of what you rely on. That being said, I'm going to pop Snow White in here because we do have her up to 11 stars now. And I do want to see these enemies fight each other. We want to keep Snow White alive for as long as possible. So we'll see whether or not that can work. And if it can, fantastic. If it can't, it's all right, it does the job. So let's jump in. And then we'll take it from there. So artifacts, I've gone for these. So I've got here in position 1 gains 300% max HP. Again, I would typically run that with Ra as well. So giving Ra all of that max HP is really powerful, especially in PvP, where the only way really to take down Ra's team is to steal some of Ra's team. So with effects like the Soul Devour from Hades, with the Phantom Illusion effect as well, that also pardon me, that also can apply that much more HP, which is, again, that's why I'm running it. You've got a 300% attack increase, splash axe as well, just for the additional damage. And then, yeah, it just steamrolls from here. So, as you can see, we are taking all of this damage with Ra. But it is impossible for Ra to die because she's on the back row as long as one of our frontline allies is alive, and both of our frontline allies will be alive for this. So doing 452 million with Leandra here, bit of splash damage there, not too bad. Again, we're gonna build up as well. What you can do is you can run an additional striker so that all allies' attack starts to increase over the course of the battle, and you can also run healers as well. Not that apparently we need it because Ra is doing the business here, but yeah, so Leandra is starting to do all of this as well. We get that execute, that is not bad at all. Unfortunately, Hades has been frozen, but I don't think it matters altogether too much. As you can see, Ra is just taking all of this damage. At the start of every round, she will heal up 50% of her max HP, and also she will she will get 2 stacks of Holy Shield, which is why she is such a fantastic unit for Rift Odyssey. I think she has been specifically designed to replace Elmer, especially with that striker synergy. It is really strong. And this team, again, it is what it is. We're going to hopefully try and get to see Snow White fall below 30% HP. That may happen, that may not. I am running Cleo on this team as well. If you don't have Cleo, you would just replace Cleo. To be fair, if I was going to run 3 Dooms, I would run Dahlia, I would run Ophelia, and I would run Arthur as well. And then 2 other units, probably Elisha and Eudora, or if not Eudora, then Karnak potentially as well. So here we go. We are double ultimating. The reason that we are double ultimating is because of this lance here. It says applies feeble to all enemies, and also feeble targets have 50% chance to take double damage. It doesn't actually mean they will take double the damage that they receive, a bit like Splash Axe, but instead it means they can double ultimate as well. So a very powerful effect indeed. Now, Dahlia going to start to do absolutely massive damage here. Just no stopping this girl when she is on one. Enemies are healing up, which is fine. Enemies are healing up. Arthur to do even more damage. That's fine. Are we even going to get to see Snow White's attack? She is very, very slow. Like, she is very, very slow. Ophelia here only doing a meager 2024. The year of our Lord. But she is actually building up. And this is a triple ult as well. That is not bad. That is the dodge mechanic kicking in. And Snow White here taking no damage. But how much damage is she going to do? That's actually quite reasonable. Given that she's been trading with Dahlia as well, that her attack will be pumped up. But she is doing a fair chunk of damage there. So not bad. And she even gets pumped up here by Cleo. And Dahlia, of course, to steal the show. We are trying to see Snow White here, but unfortunately, Dahlia is taking the biscuit. So let's carry on with these teams. They seem to be doing it relatively well. Or in fact, let's take out Leandra. Let's give Nyx a bit of a spotlight as well. Nyx used to be really, really powerful in PvP. She is a PvP unit, specifically because of this ability right here. No, this ability right here. Nyx is no. This ability right here, 10% chance to deal 10 times damage only in PvP. So Nyx is absolutely fantastic in PvP specifically, but not in PvE, not anymore, because it's all single target damage that Nyx does. Like, she does a lot of damage to one target specifically, but it's nothing to write home about. We won't make any changes on here. I don't think we need to. You can go all enchanters with Snow White, but she's got no enchanter payoff. And she's got no dooms payoff either. I don't know. Like, she's just raw damage, I think. I think that's what she's designed to do. It's just that raw damage. We might see if we can get a transformation in with her as well. But we'll have to see. So here we go, we got our relics popping off here, all in one go. I have got the cost reduction on the relics, so that is down to 40 now. If I get one more level on this plague bow, then the cost reduction goes up. The reason that the enemy has disappeared is because Hades has stolen them, and we are only in round 1, and he is already ultimating. What a powerhouse. he does the job. He does the job. And he is a reasonably slept on unit. He's outshined by Gaia. He's outshined by Elisha. He's outshined by basically all of the other faction leaders. I suspect they have released units recently that are faction leaders, so to speak. So, for example, Aphrodite, the strongest Avengers unit to be released in quite some time. I still say that Mavis is a stronger unit, or at least has a stronger passive ability all around when you get her to 11 stars. However, Aphrodite as a standalone unit can probably beat Mavis as well. And then we get Nyx doing the business here. That is not bad at all. But I would say that Aphrodite, effectively the Avengers leader, I would say, because she's the most powerful on the team. She brings the most to the table. You have Gaia, who is the Mystifiers leader. I would say that's the unit you should be prioritizing for Mystifiers. Is Gaia, because she just brings the entire team together. Don't care what anybody says about Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is great, but she does not proc herself. And by that, she does not apply corrode to enemies. If she applied corrode to enemies, she would be much, much more difficult to deal with. But because she doesn't apply corrode to enemies, she just ends up lacking. Whereas Gaia has the ability to apply the corrode that she needs to proc her passive. Elisha, again, the Ethereal's leader, I would say, or the Ethereal's unit you should be chasing because of the HP and attack increases that she does provide. Arthur, again, he is probably, I would say he's the second best Dooms unit. Speaking of the best Dooms unit, she is right here, and she is showing us exactly why she is the best Dooms unit. Dahlia is really, really powerful and very versatile. I would not suggest picking Arthur over Dahlia, but the reason for that is not because Dahlia is a good Dooms unit. I don't believe she is a good Dooms unit at all. I believe that Arthur is a better Dooms unit. In a vacuum, and primarily because Arthur dishes out all of those stacks to the rest of the team, whereas Dahlia can only do it for the person that she's switching with, which is, again, it's very strong ability, and she fits on so many different teams. But looking at the game as a whole, Dahlia is a better unit. Looking at Dooms in a vacuum, Arthur is, I would say, the faction leader because his passive procs off Reflect. You have Wu Zatan. Wu is probably the best Ethereal's unit, Ethereal Glorian's unit. 2 have been released in quite some time. Again, it's the 75% damage reduction that she applies to the entire team. The fact she protects the entire team, the fact that she steals enemy units as well is a big factor in that, but the 75% damage reduction is really why she is so strong. And I would suggest Wu is probably the Glorian that you do want to go ahead and chase as well. Now we see hopefully Dullahan to be finished off here. Haven't really seen much of the fighting with Snow White, but again, it is what it is. We'll check that out over the course of the next match. I think we've seen enough from the Valianters anyway, so let's go ahead and skip that. And then there was, and now Valianters, I would say Hades is, he is that faction leader because he affects the entire Valianters lineup that you've got going. He provides 35% execute limit for all Valianters and 35% damage reduction. It's not on the same level as Gaia, as Arthur, or as Elisha, but it is relatively powerful. And I would say that Hades, Wu, and Aphrodite, they were all released as, effectively faction leaders, but DD faction leaders, rather than Sal, Katrina, Sylvan, etc., etc. I would say that those are the units that you should be chasing if you want a strong version of these teams. Yeah, it's just very broad effects, or not broad, but niche broad effects, if that makes sense. So it's very niche to, it's very specific to that particular faction, the effect, and it gets amplified with that effect as well. Very, very strong for those particular teams. Pandora is different compared to Hades, for example. Hold on. Let me, before I get chatting, let me stop yapping for a second and let's watch Snow White. She's taken action. Oh, there we go. So, meh. What did that do? That was a basic attack against each other. A basic attack. To make some fight. Maybe that'll finish somebody off someday. Maybe you run, maybe you're a hardcore Snow White fan and you want to run Snow White. So what? So they're going to do basic attacks against each other. Maybe it's different. Maybe we're just not getting far enough into it, so these guys aren't able to declare their attacks. No, because it's when she takes action. So it's just going to be two people basic attacking each other. Maybe that would counter Nawi. I don't know. How is that related to the Doom synergy? I don't know. That seems pretty pointless. I mean, the dual function from Ra also seems pretty pointless because, well, Holy Shield exists. That is really strange. What I'm going to do, because this is currently a 23-minute video, we will stop here. And it was just really I was going to have a go all the way through to 30, but it seems as though, it is what it is. I've chatted for too long, and I just wanted to really showcase Ra specifically and see what Snow White could do as well. Yeah, Snow White is not super impressive to me. Maybe she will do much more damage when you get her exclusive runes. Maybe. I mean, it's 400 bronze coins to get her exclusive runes. It's getting her to do an additional 50%. So at this point, well, in this next match, we'll see Snow White, and I'll count up how much extra attack she would have with her exclusive runes. And then effectively you can double that if you get her full red runes. And let's see, Hades finish him off. No. Nyx will though. There's one. Two. Decent now. Unfortunately, the chain cannot carry on. It physically cannot carry on because there is technically no targets left for Nyx. But we see Ra doing the job. Better than Hades, anyway. Not Hades, better than Elmer, at any rate, because we can get those 5. Oh, that was a nice one. I do like that execute function, especially when it's 35%. 35% is very, very strong. And then Ra, to do it again, another execution, and then finish him off. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Spot on. Spot on. Right, okay, so we'll see Snow White in action one more time. She would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 300%. She'd get an additional 300% here. Yeah, 300%. And it looks like, actually, Ra does protect against Corrode. Because in the last match, we didn't see our team lose any HP whatsoever. Whereas in this one, we saw Cleo and Ophelia just then lose HP. They recovered it right back, but they lost that HP. Which means that Ra is now protecting against... Ra is now protected against Corrode and Reflect damage. So if you can keep Ra alive, or potentially bring her back, then she's going to be very, very strong. Wow, I didn't realise that. Did not realise that one little bit. So we get the burn as well, just by the way, in case you are wondering why. Because I've got no Mulan on the team, it's Magatama. You get this up to 3 stars as quickly as you can, and you will be able to pass through all of your celestial trials with no problem. It's a very powerful relic, really powerful relic. Yeah, very enjoyable, very enjoyable. We see these guys keep coming back over and over and over again. What I'll do a separate video on 25. If it's only like 10 minutes or something, then we'll have to see. But yeah, I think this is it. I think Snow White should do the business here. So she took action. Do we see these two fight each other? No, because there was no valid targets left to fight each other. What a shame. What a shame. See Minotaur go down though. There's actually more damage than Dahlia did. I guess she's hitting more people, but yeah, interesting. How much is Snow White going to do here? There you go. So she took action, and then 2 of the ladies fought each other. Maybe it was really good in testing. Maybe they thought that was going to be the next. It's going to be the next Mavis, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you know better than I do. But yeah, for me, that's not super worth it. I don't think you should be chasing Snow White. If you do so happen to get her up to 11 stars, let me know what you think about her and how she properly functions. We'll have to see. Ophelia, you're going to be able to finish him off? No. We'll see Snow White do it, though. That's not bad. Okay. No, we won't, because there were 2 men on the field. That is another thing. Snow White will do damage to all females on the field. She won't do any damage to... or she'll if there are no female targets on the field, which is going to be reasonably rare, she won't... yeah, even Arthur's doing more damage than her. I mean, she's up to 11 stars. She did more damage than Ophelia. Woo! Anyway, that's it from me. I think I've chatted enough. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day, and good luck in whatever you are doing.